Welcome to another episode of Cocktails After Dark, a visual podcast all about life, love, sex, and relationships, all over cocktails, of course. The main objective of this show is to break down some of the stigmas surrounding some of the most taboo topics.
Some of those topics come from our last episode, which was about polyamorous relationships and the BDSM lifestyle. And you can find that episode on our YouTube channel, Cocktails After Dark. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
Good plug.
Yeah.
So tonight's episode is definitely not going to disappoint. We're going to be talking to women in the sex industry and
adult entertainment as far as dancing, exotic dancing, and stripping.
Yeah. So who is our first guest?
Our first guest is going to be someone who was a former exotic dancer. Her name is Takara Collins, but she goes by TK. She went from being an exotic dancer to being a pole dance instructor, and then even going on to being a business owner and opening her own pole dance studio.
So I'm excited to hear about
Absolutely.
that. Right. So we also have the author of Love Is Not Pain, Damika Meko Kelly, who describes, it's part tell-all, part cautionary tale, and she talks about her life in the music industry and also the physical and mental abuse that she endured with her baby father, baby daddy,
who happens to be
a Grammy Award-winning music producer. So this is definitely going to be juicy. So again, like we say, this is a safe place here. So it's judgment-free. And again, we just want to show that these people are everyday people.
Right.
You know, we all have our little preconceived notions.
And we want to get rid of those preconceived notions.
Right.
And we also want to welcome our lovely audience to the conversation. Thank you all for joining us in our lovely Cocktails Clubhouse.
Right. So keep it locked. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Cocktails After Dark. And as we discussed earlier, tonight's show is all about sex workers and women in the sex industry. So we know that there is a dark side to this business, but we also know that there are women who choose to do it because they love sex.
Their absolute choice to do it, and not only about loving sex, but also being sensual and sexual in their expression and taking control of that.
And that's my main thing, taking control and ownership of your sexuality and how that is expressed. So I'm excited to introduce our first guest, Takara, also known as TK. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Are you good with your drinks? Do we need a refill?
Not yet, but it'll be gone in about 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
I'm sure.
All right.
So whoever that fine gentleman was,
Matthew.
he could come back and top me off. Top the drink off.
Yes, top you off.
Anytime.
Speaking of Matthew, we want to give a special shout out to Matthew, our bartender, for hooking us up tonight. So he's some eye candy for you. To Matthew. All right, so let's get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So you were an exotic dancer, right?
Yes, I was an exotic dancer. I started in 1997. Hate to choke you up with how old I am, but just to give you an idea, I started at the ripe age of 18.
Okay, so legal adult.
So I was a legal adult, fresh out of high school.
Now, what pushed you to it?
Quick background story. Graduated from high school, assistant manager at a wonderful music store in a urban mall in Baltimore City. Those of you who are from Baltimore would know what mall it is.
Mondawmin.
Oh yeah. So I'm in a terrible car accident in my mom's vehicle. It ends up being almost totaled, and I had some housing money available. I was on my way to college. I gave my mom that money so that she can get that car fixed, or her truck at that time. I needed to get that housing deposit back ASAP. While working at the store, I wasn't making that money that fast, so this DJ stops in my store. He's like, "Why you so blue, pumpkin?" And I tell him, "I need some money. I need some money bad. I need some money quick before I go to school. So
it's my money and I want it now.
It's my money, I need it now." And he's like, "You should go to the Ye Old Millstream Inn and do this amateur night. You can make some good money."
Ye Old?
It's called the Ye Old Millstream Inn.
That's the full title of the spot.
Yeah, well,
I just know it as the
now
Millstream.
it's probably called the Millstream.
The Millstream, yeah.
but before then it was the ye old. And I did the amateur night a couple times and made some money. And unfortunately, that money bug, I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
And I liked being up there, being one of the few African American women that were in that club. And I liked the little white guys looking at me.
Because this was back in the 90s, right?
Yes.
And I know back in the
97.
90s in a lot of clubs,
Yes.
black girls were the commodity.
They
there.
were a commodity.
And you'd only have like one or two token black
Exactly.
girls.
And you had to be pretty enough.
Yeah.
And not too big. And not any...
And how did they deal with the fat asses? Because fat asses wasn't a thing in the 90s, and you definitely got a fat ass.
Yeah, but it was nice to have. It was nice to have.
So they still appreciated it back then.
They definitely appreciated it because it wasn't sloppy. I guess it wasn't like all over the place. So I did that a couple times. Made my little housing deposit that I needed.
So let's go back really quick and talk about what you said, how it made you feel being on the stage. And that's one of the things that we want to definitely talk about, because as we said in the opening, a lot of people associate this lifestyle to women who dealt with abuse or have daddy issues.
Or low self-esteem.
Or low self-esteem. And we want to show that it's not always that black and white when it comes to this business. So talk a little bit about how you felt as far as being on the stage and feeling empowered. Tell us about that.
Well, let me go back with when DJ comes in and tells me that this is something that I should do. Immediately, I'm taken aback by it. I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not taking my clothes off for money. I've seen Jerry Springer. I know how these bitches get down. No.
So you had your own
I had my
preconceived
own
notions.
preconceived notions that this was not going to be something that I was going to like to do.
Right.
But from high school, I did the little modeling club thing. And I liked dressing up. I liked being pretty. And I thought that it was something I could do. So I took it as though model a little bit. I did ballet, tap and jazz. I had a little rhythm. It wasn't something a big deal. And I was told I did not have to get naked.
So is that how you kind of psyched yourself
That's
up
how
to
I
it?
psyched
That
myself
I'm
up
just
to it.
performing, I'm doing
just
another
gonna
ballet
yes,
recital.
Yes, another recital, just
Right.
a little more skin involved.
So how was it your first time up on the stage?
I had butterflies out of the ass. I really did.
All the ass.
All the ass. I'm surprised that I did not throw up. That's how. And back then, I wore my natural hair. Mm-hmm. So it was hot lights, sweating it out, had a perm, rods. So you can imagine, if you know what I'm talking about.
Frizzy.
Getting your hair done, spending all the money, and after you're done, those curls have fallen. And you're pissed. But you're counting these ones like, I can go back.
Yep. So you didn't get naked right away.
No, didn't get
So
naked.
how long did it take before you did get naked?
Well, at that club,
'Cause I
there
know
was
it's
no
common.
nudity.
Okay.
There was no nudity at that club.
So it got down to how far?
Got down to pretty
Topless?
much topless.
Yeah.
And with pasties.
Hasty. So no nipples.
No nips out.
Yeah, this is the 90s.
This,
okay.
Yeah, there was no nips out. And actually, I think back then it might have been the T-top. If memory serves me correctly, it might have been the T-top and the G-string. And I remember going down to, I believe it might have been Baltimore Street or a place called Firefly. I can't remember which one I went to, but I remember going there and looking at stuff and being in the maze like, these women are wearing this shit.
That was on Baltimore Street.
Okay.
Firefly was on Baltimore Street.
All right, well then that's
yes,
where,
I know. I know.
That's
Wish
where
I
I
had my
was.
glasses.
Yes.
So you never answered my question though.
What was the...
How long did it take you before you got totally naked?
Before I got totally naked, it was not at the Millstream. It was with a private party scenario.
Okay.
Because I didn't know if I could handle being in a public place where just anybody could come in.
So you waited till you had a private party?
I
before you
waited till
did.
I was in a private party atmosphere.
Was it just another man?
Well, it was a couple of men.
Okay.
It's like a bachelor
It was like a
party.
bachelor party.
So what was
setup.
going through your head when you were like, okay, I'm going to get butt ass naked and just go for it? What were you thinking?
What I was thinking was, and you're going to laugh, but I just want to make sure that my pussy was well trimmed. Yes. I want to make, you laugh, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You don't want anybody to talk about you. And I say
because pussy confidence is extremely
It's-
important
it is.
among women.
It's
Like we
important.
talk about this even with having sex. You're just putting on a bathing suit or whatever.
some
Pussy
people
confidence.
don't think it matters.
It
but
matters.
You look at some of the old time porn and you see this bush sticking out from the side
Yeah.
of something.
And
that,
this was the 90s, and
This was
people
the 90s.
weren't people
They-
weren't
they-
going
It was
bare
still a
yet.
little bushy.
Yeah, it was still a little
Did
bushy.
you
back
kept
then.
it bushy?
No,
Okay.
I did not. It was not. That was not an option. Not for me. Not for
So
me.
let's get back to your mind frame of when you decided that you was gonna go butt ass naked.
When I got there, I was told we're going to give you enough money for you to take all of that off.
So it was the money. So it was basically you was just waiting for the right price.
I was waiting. Well, no, I wouldn't say I was waiting for the right price because I kept getting offered the prices, and I was like, no, I'll take the smaller pay spot, and I will keep my bra top and my hot pants on with a G-string on, and I would just take my pants down just to show my ass cheeks, and that was what I did because I was still a newbie.
So you wouldn't even have a G-string, all that ass you got, and you
No, I had a
wasn't
G-string
showing
on
it.
underneath.
But she wasn't taking the
But I
But she
wasn't
wasn't
taking
taking
my-
all that ass, and you wasn't even
No,
showing it.
not yet.
So
Not
what
yet.
what made these men so special that you was gonna do it for them?
That money.
That money.
After I saw how much the girls were really making, and I saw that the ones that I was working with. Now, it's different women that do different things, but the women that I was with, they were coming in and certain ones were doing just basic stuff.
What's basic stuff?
So basic stuff would be going out there dancing, pouring baby oil on themselves. They would get naked, rubbing themselves.
Do it,
Some-
girl.
Yeah, rubbing themselves. And then you had a few of them that might have did something with fruit and whipped cream.
So that's basic.
That's basic.
It's pretty vanilla.
So what's not basic?
Pretty not basic would be women that were sticking things in their vaginas.
Is that something that you did?
Absolutely not.
No. Why?
Because I had just a smidgen more pride in myself.
Really?
Yeah. I did not go that far.
Are you
I was-
judging?
No, I wasn't judging.
All right.
But for real, for myself, that was just something I was not into doing. I was more of the performer caliber.
Okay.
I was
Because
sex-
you went back to your ballet recitals and your
All
jazz
of that good
recitals.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't need to do anything extra. I was pretty enough. I was stacked enough, and I.
Definitely
You
stacked.
didn't need to do
I
tricks
didn't
or
need to do
party
no-
favors.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Little flips, a little.
Yeah.
Well, so what's a flip? Because all of us
Or
might not
some-
know.
or
What's a
like
flip?
a somersault,
Oh, a flip. I thought that was something like
like a
No.
somersault, flipping up into somebody's lap, maybe. Doing like what we call a shoulder stand.
So I know a lot of men probably propositioned you for sex during these shows.
Often,
Did
yes.
you ever bite?
No.
We won't tell.
No,
It's okay.
no, of course, the cameras would not tell the truth.
What was your first reaction though when someone propositioned you?
Honestly, I was flattered. I was flattered.
What's the most that you got offered?
About $1,000. $1,000 from somebody that was quite well known. Actually, I won't put him out there like that. I promise I won't put him out there like that. But he is somebody that could have probably been in Madam's book. Could have been.
I wish I had my shade glass.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to.
Think of who would be
Yeah.
popular in the 90s. Yeah.
Yes.
And someone you met here in Baltimore?
Yes, he did a concert at Morgan that year.
So how long did you stay in this business?
20 years.
20 years.
20.
How old are you now, may I ask?
I'll be 40 in May.
Okay, all right,
Lies.
so 20 years.
Lies.
That's a long time.
That's a long
So
time.
why did you stay in it outside of no longer needing this money for housing? So you
I-
can't use that as an excuse
No, I
anymore.
don't.
So
I don't.
why did you stay in it that long?
Because I loved it, and I still love it, and that's why I still want to be a part of it to a degree.
So what do you love about it?
I think what I love the most about it is the ability to play a role and be somebody else for a few minutes. That's the honest truth.
Fantasy that you're
It's a
selling.
fantasy, and to please somebody else, it's kind of like somebody who likes to give oral sex,
Right.
who likes to give oral sex.
Right.
Like I like to please people, and if I can be visually appealing to someone, I get off on it a little bit. I know that sounds strange.
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
But I love to hear that, because I think that plays a huge factor in some of the fantasy for men. Men want to be able to believe that you're enjoying it as well, that you get off of it as well. So that's an important piece, to hear that you enjoy that and you get off of that.
I would get special orders. Or
So I have a
special
question.
requests. Yeah.
Did you perform majority for men, or were you also at some point getting booked for women only?
I
And
did.
what was that like?
I did both.
Okay. So did ladies proposition you as well?
Yes, I did.
Did you ever take advantage of that?
Often I would, but not for money. It would be more or less like, oh, you want me for that? Oh, that would be just because you like me like that? Well, let's just play anyway.
So why the women and not the men?
Because that was something that I preferred to do, I guess. That was just something I preferred to do. And most of the times, the person that I ended up playing with, I ended up having anyway.
Right.
So they end up being mine anyway.
Perks of the business.
Yeah, and look, perks of the business.
So did you
Yes, perks of the business.
do you get a lot of women that hired you?
At that time, yes. When I was performing on a regular basis, I would perform at a place called Club Buns.
Okay.
And we would do...
I think Club Buns is infamous here in Baltimore.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, we would have ladies' night, faithfully. And it would be plenty of people out there, women. Some men would come as well. Some straight men would come that knew how to act.
Right.
That weren't like flabbergasted, like, oh my God, there's nothing but beautiful women in here. Because for some reason, it'd be a cloud of beautiful women in there, and most of them would be looking for other women. And then you have the gay guys in there as well. But just to be honest with you, gay women performances seem to have been a lot more exotic and interesting than what you would say would be the straight women's show. For the straight gentlemen.
Right.
I think that gay women look for more entertainment. They would critique you a lot more.
Right.
Down from hair to nails to the shape of your hair on your pussy.
So they're looking at every detail.
Of course, because they're women.
content.
Just like they say women know how to please other women better.
Yes.
It's because they pay attention
more
to
attention.
they pay more attention,
Yes.
especially to those details.
And they expected a lot more from you. So for me, I felt like I felt more appreciated when I performed for women. And with men, no offense to men at all.
It's okay. We offend them all the time on this show. It's okay. Offend away, darling.
It just wasn't as hard to please men because they were like, oh, she got a fat ass. She got some big titties. She jiggling. She gyrating. It's only a few men that would be like, damn, I like that outfit she got on.
Right.
Oh, her
Because you
shoes
said
match
that you're an
out.
entertainer, so the whole thing mattered to you.
Yes.
Everything that you were putting into it, from the costumes, the music that you chose, the makeup, the hair. And men only, of course, only paid attention to the fat ass and big titties.
Pretty much.
So what made you go from being an exotic dancer to wanting to be a pole instructor and then open your own studio?
So I saw an ad in this, I want to say it was the city paper, for this company that is still open to this day.
We're not going to talk about them.
Yes. But they were looking for people.
need a refill.
I do need a refill.
Oh, Matthew.
Matthew.
We're actually
hold
going
on.
to take a quick break, and
Oh,
we'll
yes.
have Matthew refill our drinks because we got to get more into it. So,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
Yes.
so keep it locked. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Cocktails After Dark. Now, before we went on break, TK was explaining to us her transition from exotic dancer to pole instructor and now an entrepreneur.
So what got you into being an instructor?
I got into being an instructor because I knew that the body was only going to do but so much. And I answered the ad because the ad was like, looking for someone to teach exotic dance moves for fitness. And I'm thinking, who wants to learn that for fitness?
There's a lot of nasty
A
women
lot of
out
nasty
there.
bitches out here, I found out. And that was cool.
I was one of them.
And I ended up meeting this beautiful creature on the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably one of the best days of my life because it's been 14. It's
been a while.
It's been a while now.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. And it's probably one of the best things that I could have done because I think that women like that feeling of empowerment because it was kind of like it's a trade, it's a talent, it's a secret weapon.
Yeah.
And I used it. I made a lot of fucking money doing
Absolutely.
it. I made a lot of people happy. And when I was able to share my beautiful gifts that
That's
I
right, 'cause
learned
it is
from
gifts.
the graces of God that I've got it from. And I shared it with plenty of women and a few men. Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I said, I need to do more. And I decided to take myself away. And I went and opened up my own place and shared it with even more people.
That's awesome. So what are your takeaways from this business? What advice would you give young girls who are entering into the business?
Okay. If I had to tell them anything, be safe. That's one thing. Try not to go by yourself, if nothing else. If you are going to be by yourself, let somebody know exactly where you're going to be and whoever the contact liaison person you spoke with.
You spell the same things you told me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, we're going to get to that. We're going to get on to that.
What else I would say, though, that I wish that if I would tell my younger self, would be half the money you make, fucking save it.
Save it.
Save that shit.
So with all the stigmas that are surrounding this industry, what are the takeaways that you want to have the viewers that are watching it about this business?
About the business. Everybody that's dancing or stripping is not fucking for money.
Say it again.
Everybody that's dancing or stripping is not fucking for money. Some people like to perform. Some people are exhibitionists or voyeurs and like to watch other people doing it as well. So you cannot judge people based off of how they like to entertain and what gets them off. And this is something that they like to do, and it just so happens that they're good enough to make money. Don't hate on them.
And mind your motherfucking business.
And mind your motherfucking business.
Okay. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
For joining us.
Thank you for telling us.
And tell everybody where they can reach you at for your studio.
Oh my God. For my studio that is going to be opening in about another month or so, please email me at drbcstudio@gmail.com. I will give you all of the insight, the tips, the juicy bits that you need to know where I'm going to be. It will be a Baltimore studio. My phone number is 443-621-3595. I prefer Texas because I do not answer numbers that are not stored in my phone. God damn it, I am a black woman.
Yes.
So me and Mimi already said that we are going to visit your studio and we're actually going to do a live show from your studio. We're going to get into some stripper gear. And we're going to do some pole dancing.
I'm
excited about this. This should definitely be fun. Right. So before we go, stand up and let everybody show why you were making so much money.
Yes, girl. Lord Jesus.
All right, thank you. So keep it locked. Coming up next, we're going to have author of Love Is Not Pain, Damika Miko Kelly. So keep it locked. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Cocktails After Dark. Now, before we get into our next guest, Miko and her book, Love Is Not Pain, before we went on break, Mimi was letting some shit go about, so you were a stripper?
I did dabble in a little bit of exotic dance for a bit.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Why is it that every episode I'm learning shit?
You know, it's good content.
Every episode, I'm learning shit.
It's
like
good content.
I need to give you another name. There's like
I had a stage name.
Mimi. What was your stage name?
Minx.
Minx.
Minx. MYNXX.
Ah.
Yes. Minx.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you have any old footage of you dancing?
I'm sure TK has footage of me dancing. So yes, there's somewhere. But yeah,
I'm sipping my tea.
I only did private parties. I didn't do any kind of club scene like that. So yeah, it was good money. I totally get all of what she said.
So how long did you do it?
A couple years. It wasn't a lot. It was a couple years. But I started with an amateur night at the Hustler Club.
So that's how the story always goes with all of you. It was an
Well,
amateur night.
I actually met her taking classes with her before she opened her studio, and then I just kind of was like, let me graduate myself.
So what did that mean for you? You being a dancer, how did that empowerment?
I totally
how was that
chose
for
to
you?
do it because I just wanted to do it, and I'm very much like, I love performing. So I used to figure skate, I used to do ballet, I used to do dance, all that stuff. So it was just another form of dance.
Because you can hit a mean split.
Yes,
seen
I
it.
can. Yeah,
I've seen it.
I can twerk it in the
Can you
split
do one
too.
tonight?
Yes. I mean, not on this cold floor. No. Free certain
All right,
bits.
I'm going to do cheers to you in your
Yes.
stripper days. We got to talk about this a little bit
We can
more.
absolutely talk about it.
So we're going to have a
more.
slumber party soon.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk about this. I wish I had my shade glasses. So, Miss Miko, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All
I
right, so
appreciate
Let's
it.
talk a little bit about your book,
Yes.
Love is Pain. So you describe this as part tell-all,
Yeah.
part cautionary tale about your life in the music industry
Yes.
and your Grammy Award-winning baby daddy. Now, I keep saying that. Who is this baby daddy?
So his name is Chink Santana. He was on Love and Hip Hop New York on one season.
That's the baby daddy.
Yes. So I met him initially. We met at a club, and he wanted to help me with my music career, you know. And so I went to his studio, and we started writing and recording together, and you know, other things.
Other things happen. So I was able to get through a little bit of this book, and I keep telling you guys need to pick up this book.
Thank you.
Because you're spilling lots of tea, and you talk about the 90s. Of,
Oh, yeah.
you know, being with Jay-Z and Dame Dash, and also
Yeah.
being backstage with, I think that was the first thing that kind of wanted to get into the music industry,
Right.
was with being with KC and JoJo.
Yes.
And D'Angelo backstage. That was like the bug for you that
Right.
you said that.
That was the turning point for me. It was like, I can do this. I want to do this. And I always wanted to sing. Mary J. Blige was my favorite singer in the 90s. I wanted to get discovered like her. I wanted somebody to come and pick me up from DC and sign me and take me away. But I realized that I had to do a lot of hustling on my own. So in this book, I talk about my journey of starting off in the stage, doing small things, and then eventually getting my 15 minutes of fame, getting a video, writing a song and getting a video on MTV and BET.
Okay, all right. So in between all of this, there were some things that were not so good happening.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in your life.
Yeah.
And so your book talks about the beginning stages, and also you talk about being an exotic dancer and
Right.
also being a madam.
Yes.
So talk about how did you get into that profession?
So Chink and I, we dated off and on for a while. I ended up getting pregnant, and he was like, did not want me to have this child. It was like, he was just adamant about me not having the child. And I was like, hey, it's already done. I got to keep moving. So I was in school, and I didn't want to go home to my parents' house. And it was like, I need some money so I can move, get my own place. And my sister was like, hey, I know a manager at a club. Maybe you should try amateur night.
Amateur night.
Amateur night.
Always the gateway.
Just amateur night is
Yeah.
the gateway.
Yep, Club 55 in Washington, D.C. And so I went, and I could not dance to save anybody's life. And they were cracking up laughing at me, but like, you're so pretty, we have to hire you. I'm like, yeah, like falling down with my heels and everything. And so I started dancing, and I realized quickly that dancing was not for me. Number one, I could not dance.
Okay.
And then, but I knew how to hustle. It was really good. I was able to talk. So what I did was I started talking to the other girls and was like, y'all don't want to work here. Y'all need to come work with me. They're like, work where? I don't know. We're going to figure it out. So I just started meeting a lot of like, I don't know, ballers. I don't know what you want to call it. But the people the men who spent a lot of money there was like, hey, I got a private party over at such and such. Didn't have anything lined up. I'm just lying, just trying to catch, somebody. And they were like, oh, where? So I just made up somewhere off the top of my head, a hotel, invited them to this hotel, ended up getting these girls to come, and we were able to make some money together. And it was like, this is making way more money than me trying to get up on a pole and not making a dime because I can't dance. So that turned into me kind of like managing some girls for a while, but then I started getting requests for sex. And I was like, well, I'm just going to throw a high number out there because I'm like, first of all, I don't want just anybody being able to have sex with me. And then it was like, if I tell them this price, they're going to be like, no, I'm just going to call somebody's bluff. And they're like, how much? 500. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, God, okay. So then I had to learn, I really had to learn how to like to have sex because I was molested when I was younger, and also I was raped. So it was like sex for me was like, I knew it was a way to make money, but it also kind of brought like a lot of pain. That's why my book is called Love is Not Pain, because it felt like sex to me was always like some type of painful situation. So for me, when I started, I guess it is prostituting, but when I started becoming a prostitute, it was really hard at first. But then I learned like the people who would pay the money that I requested, they were white men. And a lot of them didn't even want to have sex. It was like rare that they wanted to have sex. I was doing mostly like, kind of like just entertaining them, sitting down, asking them how their day was,
So
giving them a massage. They just, that's it, really.
Wow.
So we heard our first guest, TK, talk about how she actually got off on working in the adult industry and some of the things that she did. Did you enjoy any aspect of it?
I enjoy sucking dick.
It's a skill.
It is, and I learned I learned really quickly that like I could give a hand job and be done in 10 minutes, or I could give a blow job and be done in 10 minutes. So if I could make $500 to $1,000 in 10 minutes, why not do that?
Why not do that?
And it was like, okay, next. Right, and I ended up teaching the girls that I work with how to do it, because a lot of them.
You gave a class. What did you do?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you want to make this money real quick? Come on, let me show you how to do this. Don't neglect the balls. Suck it all the way down. Like, come on, you want to make some money.
You got to do the whole thing.
Right.
Can we give a glass clap? And don't neglect the balls. If we don't take anything away from this,
please don't.
Don't neglect the balls.
Don't neglect the balls. So
in your book, you talk about all these encounters with, like I said, with Jay-Z and Dame Dash. And you talk about Irv Gotti, you know, sticking his penis out and all of that. So
he just whipped it out?
Well, I think that back then, I don't know. Because now that I've been watching this Surviving R. Kelly, I think a lot of these men think that, oh, well, if I, proposition sex, or I think it was more of a thing of like, he felt like if I would have sex with him, maybe I would, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to say this correctly, but I think he thought that I would sell my body to get into the music industry. And so I encountered that with a lot of celebrities.
And that's what I was going to mention in your book. You made it a point to separate the two, that you said that you were never going to do that to be able to get your music.
And it was weird because I'm like, I would suck a stranger's dick for $500, but I wouldn't suck his dick to get a record deal. It didn't. My sister would be like, you're crazy. Like, what are you doing?
That's common sense. Don't shit.
I was actually, honestly, I was kind of terrified because, the music industry is male based. Right. So I was always around men in studios, and, I've been in the studio and gone to the restroom and come back and somebody was naked thinking, oh, he's like, well, I thought, no, that's not what I'm here for.
Right. So
what
was your rationale behind that? If you you know, you were teaching women how to give blowjobs, and you know, you said it yourself that you were prostituting yourself. So why did you draw the line at not wanting to do this to further your music career?
I think because I knew a lot of females in the music industry who did that, who like had sex with people to get certain positions, and it was like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I had opportunity. I had opportunity to sleep with Jay-Z. I had opportunities to sleep with a lot of different celebrities.
Who else can we name? Come on, girl. Let's do it.
Well,
let's plug this book. Who else did
well,
you have
as
the
a madam,
opportunity
you
to
know,
sleep with?
I knew a lot of people who were promoters in the club. So I would ask them, hey, I couldn't put a lot of this in the book because I didn't want to implicate myself in certain things.
Right.
But I knew a lot of promoters, and I would be like, you know, let me know when they come to town because I have entertainment for them. So what I do is I would bring the girls there, and then I'd be talking to them like, hey, you need anybody in the studio, or are you looking? I'm like, I got a sister who sings. I'm talking about myself to somebody, telling them that I have a sister who sings and interested in the music industry and stuff. And sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. But there were, I mean, regular people that you still see now.
So how did you feel as a woman being a madam? And some people would say essentially pimping out. You know,
I didn't even
these
think
girls.
of it
You
like
didn't think
that
of it
back
like
then.
That. So what was your thought process?
I really thought I was helping these girls. Like,
girls.
I think, you know, going back to being molested as a young girl, I feel like I lost, I think I became perverted actually really early on. So a lot of things that I saw.
To a lot of young
Right.
girls who've been, yeah.
So a lot of things that I saw, like in the sex industry, like it didn't affect me. Like seeing men have sex with other men, like there was just nothing to me. I'm like walking the room, and these two thugs who were just out throwing dollar bills at me and my girls are now engaging in sex with each other. And it was just like, in my mind, it was like, oh, that's nice. Because I feel like I was perverted at a young age. So, you know, it's
What are your thoughts on it now? Because there's some perversion, but there's also just the fact that some people are just, you know, open-minded,
Right.
and free spirits. And
yeah, because they say like fluid now,
Yeah, sexually
right?
fluid,
Right.
absolutely, right.
You know what? I'm into it. I try not to be like.
Why you try not to be? Don't suppress
You know
it.
why? Because
Don't
if you
suppress
read
it,
my
like,
book,
for sure.
my father is a pastor.
And I saw that.
So I grew up with this
And he
whole
shaped a
notion.
lot of
Oh my
your- a lot
God,
of your
yeah.
thought process with
Yes,
sex,
you know,
yeah,
in my book,
in the
he's
beginning.
talking about homosexuality, and
Right.
he wouldn't even let me wear red.
Right.
So it was like, it was so many things. Red equaled the devil. You
And he
weren't,
said, love
you
them
know.
and leave them,
Oh yeah.
right? Yeah.
And that was weird too, because he's dropping me off at college and he's telling me, oh, don't fall in love with anybody, just have sex with them and keep it moving.
this is your
And I'm
dad
like,
telling you
aren't you a preacher? Like,
So
yeah.
you shaped your views on sex from a very
Oh, yeah.
early age, along
Yeah.
with, you know, the sexual abuse that you endured.
Oh yeah, definitely. So.
Yes, that makes sense. That
So
makes
sometimes I'm like really sexual and really open, and sometimes I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. It's ugh, you
I
know.
find it's hard to find that balance between being very conservative
Yes.
and at the same time being very open.
Very hard, you know.
How do you navigate that with like new relationships? Like once you came out of being a madam,
Right.
how did you navigate getting into a regular kind of normative relationship?
And why did you stop?
Yeah.
Being a madam?
So I stopped. I was in this situation where I wasn't engaged, but I was dating this guy. We had just bought this house in Accokeek, Maryland, really nice house. And I was like, at the end, I knew it was coming to an end because I was tired and I kind of just wanted to, I had kids and I wanted to focus on my kids. I wanted to, I had just started working the job that I'm in now. And so it was like, I need to figure out what I'm doing. My son was getting older, and I think I was getting tired of him seeing me go through so many different relationships and, you know, drug abuse and all of that. So my sister actually tricked me to go to church with her. And being a church girl, always been a daddy's girl, I went to this church and the pastor looked just like my daddy. And I was just like, I thought we were going out to a club. Like she told me we were going to hang out. So before I started drinking and smoking, so I'm at the club, at the church high. And it was in a place where I used to strip. I thought it was a strip club again because I hadn't been there in a long time. So when we go in, I hear music, I hear go-go music. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We go inside, and it's a church. So I go into church. I'm looking at the pastor who looks like my dad, and he's talking the entire time, and I feel like he's talking to me. And so I ended up giving my life to Christ, and I decided right then and there, I'm like, I can't go back to his house with this guy because he was like, whew, he was already like, he was doing a lot of shady, crazy things too. And we had done some things together. So in my mindset, I'm like, I want to change. I don't want to go home and be the same person. So that was the reason why I stopped. And it was funny because maybe 2 weeks after that, he ended up getting locked up. Wow. And he's in prison now doing, him and my baby daddy are in the same prison.
Same prison.
Same prison.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I want to ask a little bit more about your baby father, who's the guy that was on Love and Hip Hop.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a quick break,
okay,
and we'll be right back. Keep it locked. Welcome back to Cocktails After Dark, and as promised, we have our guest joining us for a little Q&A from the audience. So who has the first question? Right here.
Thank you. My question is for TK, also known as Takara, also known as Baby Doll. My question is, why are you retiring?
Okay. Officially, I have not retired. I have not hung up the G-string or the bootstraps or the garter belts or the thigh-high boots. What happened was with me, I had a surgical procedure, so I had to chill out for a little bit, and I thought I would heal up a little faster, but as you get older, you don't heal as fast. So I wanted to be absolutely sure that that was what I was going to do, and as time went on, I just decided that it was no rush for me to jump back on the bandwagon, and I was letting the little young women take the money and have some fun. I didn't want to go out there and shut it down again. I'm just playing.
You want to leave some for the
I want to leave some for the little ladies. But no, but seriously, I know that the industry is different from when we first started. I came in what we call would be middle school. Old school was certain dancers, and middle school were people like me and the Almighty Isis and Hustle Man Wiggles, and then you got the new school, which was Lady Monet and Nico De Niro and all these other beautiful girls, and every class set a different standard and a different tone, and it's not that you can't compete, but they're looking for something different. And you got ones that are doing backhand springs and light and fly on their pussies and stuff, and that's cool. That's cool if that's what you want to see. But me, I want to lip sync. I want to give you a beautiful show, and it's certain things I'm just not fucking gonna do. And it's nothing against anybody else, but I know what I'm not gonna do, and I know what I am gonna do, and I know the level of caliber that I have. And it's not that I'm not gonna compete with you. I know what I want to do, and I know what people want to see. And if they don't want to see what I got, I'm not gonna fucking give it to you. I'm gonna give you to the people that want to see what I have, and let the people that want to see all of that extra shit, pulling shit out your pussy, pearls, lighting shit on fire, backhand spread. I mean, if you're doing all that, that's cool. If you can do all that, if you can put your leg behind your neck, that's fine. Me, at almost 40, I'm going to keep it classy. I'm going to sashay my ass around. I'm going to show you a little titty, a little ass. Yeah, I might got a little stomach, but guess what? That's some earned stomach. Yeah. This ass I got, that's some earned ass. And guess what? It's all 100% natural right here. All of it. And guess what? They love every ounce of it. So, I haven't retired, baby. I do special requests only. Yeah.
That's special request pussy right there.
That's request pussy right there.
All right, who's next? Who has the next question?
Right over here in the corner.
Hi, I'm Sherelle.
Hey, Sherelle.
Hi, I'm Sherelle. Just to say, 40 is fabulous, okay?
40 is fucking fabulous.
Yes, it is.
I was asking, are you maybe thinking about girls who are kind of having questions about going into the dancing mode? Do you think maybe you would do like a training for them and kind of give them background in the industry? Because I know right now it seems like you're probably doing working with people who just want to use it as a workout.
I train and coach whoever wants whatever information that they require. If you want to come into the industry, I give you what you need. I tell you the truth. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't give you no bullshit. I try to tell you where you can make some money. I try to tell you what to avoid. I try to tell you what's the best route to go. I try to tell you what would work for you as far as your body type, as far as your complexion. You know, I try to tell you what works for you as far as the type of performer that you particularly want to be. Because if you want to be a shake-ass girl, you can be a shake-ass girl and be a good damn shake-ass girl. But if you want to be something like a lip-sync, classy, touch the floor every now and then, but stand up and perform like that, if that's what you want to be, then that's what you're going to be. But if you want to be a little bit of everything, which is what I would say be a triple threat, I'd rather you be a triple threat. That's where I like to cater to you to be.
Okay. You look for a job?
I know, right?
And it does sound like you're more. Are you more burlesque like? Or are you just?
I'm more of the burlesque type.
Okay.
More of the burlesque type. Like I'll do the pole, and I'll do some nice stuff on the pole when I'm on the pole. But I won't do anything where I'm going to do something that I know I'm going to break my neck. Because guess what? The people that book me, they don't have no life insurance coverage. You know, they're not going to pay my son's way through college. They're not going to make sure my mom is good.
Traumatic brain injury. Okay.
Yeah. So I do realistic shit. You know, at 40, I'm realistic. That 401k I'm going to do for so much.
Another question right here.
So the question is for both of you, and you are both business women. So I want to know who would be the best strategic partner you would bring into your business to take yourselves to the next level.
Good question.
Miko, you want to hit that first?
Yeah. Let's go, Miko.
Oh man, are you talking like celebrity?
It can be celebrity, it can be business. It's like a Shark Tank thing. Who would you bring into your Shark Tank pitch?
Man, oh man.
Out of anyone that you could pick, who would you pick to bring in?
It would probably. I would want someone African American. You know, no shade to anybody else, but I like to stick with my people. I would say probably Diddy, because he has so many different realms of, different background, like Ciroc, he has clothing, he has everything, and he probably could give me.
He's known for not signing the best contract.
Well, I think I would have to have a lawyer. I saw a contract that he sent to Chink when we were together.
Wow, really?
This thick. And it said in that contract that he owned everything. Publishing. Wow. He owned him as a model. He owned him any acting. Everything was in this contract. It was this thick. And we both looked at it and died laughing like, this fool is crazy. Now I'm thinking about that. That's funny that I say
that you
after I've seen a contract that he was giving. So I don't know. That's a hard question, but it would have to be someone who had an extensive background in business. I still think I got it at 40 plus to do acting and modeling. I want to do everything that I set out to do in the beginning. I'd still love to pursue. So it'd have to be Viola Davis. I like her. I love her. She's like not only is she an actress, but she does a lot of charity work.
Right.
She's a businesswoman. So yeah, I think I would try to pair it with her.
And I'm a huge advocate of that. Like 40 means nothing.
Exactly.
Age means nothing.
Not at all.
Doing what makes you happy
Right.
and doing what feels good is what's important.
And no one up here looks 40.
No one.
Just go ahead and nail that in the coffin.
I mean, even with me, I started delving into modeling and doing things like that.
Well, you are a
at
model,
the age
honey.
of 40. So 40 doesn't mean shit.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
going and do what the hell you want to do.
Thank
Age is
you.
nothing but a number.
I needed that.
TK,
No
who
plugs
would you,
to
who
our
would you partner
Kelly.
with?
I really think that it's too many for me to choose from, but I really think that if I could stay with keeping it in exotic dance or / exotic dance fitness, I think that the movement is important to keep the body healthy. But I also think that what goes into the body is even more important. So I want to probably team up with somebody who would be a person that would be about nutritional health, I guess. But I would want somebody who has a regular body, like a plus size woman, preferably. Woman of color would be preferred, of course, still. If I could have a younger version of Oprah, I would love it. I mean, she's all right looking and all that stuff, but I think she'd be sexy in something nice with the shit pushed up. You know,
Oprah does have a little vibe.
she got a little something going on. Don't be sleeping on Oprah, man. But when she got her hair done, she got some crazy little glasses on and shit. She looked nice when she's sucked up real nice and everything. But I mean, she got the Weight Watchers deal and everything like that. I think I'd go with somebody that has something to do with food and want to keep nutrition going, because I got your body covered. I'm good. You just need to feed yourself properly. Put the right stuff in there. And you can eat as much as you want as long as you work out with me like you're supposed to. We good.
Do we have any last questions for our guests? Okay, over there.
Would you do what you've done basically for a larger part of more than half your life, right? It's for both of you. Would you do it for free?
No. Not at all.
That's not much of a question.
Well, you know what? I'm married now, so I guess I am doing it for free.
I would, because I see your thought process behind it. If it's something that you love what you do and you're passionate about it, money is no object.
I could do it for charity, but I wouldn't get naked, sir.
There you go.
Why not?
I honestly,
Why
because
not? I don't get why not.
I would go down to a G-string, but I would want to save something for my loved one. I could do it.
I got another question.
Yes.
Earlier you said that you're doing exactly what you just said you would. You said that that's what empowers you. That's what, if anything, it gave you some empowerment. Speaking for a man, I'm empowered by what I do. I got lucky by actually choosing a career that I would do for free. And it's a hard one. My back is actually literally broke right now, but I can't support Tiana. But I can barely walk. But I will do it for free. Because I love what I do. And it pleases people, it helps people. And the thing about it is, I can die. My body can change, and it's still here. So my question is, in regards to the fact that the material, the fact that that building will still be there, electricity will still be in your home, right? My question is, the fact is, it helps them, it pleases them, it provides a service that helps them people. I love that. It makes me feel good about me. Because it stages this shit. At one time it was a gun. At another time it was my mother smiling at me. Whatever the case may be, it made me feel empowered. So right now it's me with my own hands. I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, drive an hour, maybe 2, to get the work done. And I will do it for free. So my question is, if it gives you a sense of empowerment, like you say, and it make you feel good about what you do and it pleases other people, would you do it for free?
How you pay bills?
I could do it for free, like I said, but there is going to be a cutoff point when I got to show my vagina for free. But it's a power trip though. But it's a power trip. After a while, I cut it off to to a point. Whereas though you will not see my pussy hole for free. After a while, I'm expecting some kind of tip, sir.
Say that
Some
again.
kind of pussy hole. You will not see the pussy hole for free.
Okay.
You can see the nipple. You may see the butt cheek.
Let me tag in on that. If money was no object, if there was no issue of bills getting paid and things like that, I don't think it'd be an issue of doing it for free because yes, you get the full fulfillment of it, but I'm just adding to it. If it's a situation of my bills are definitely getting met, it's not a problem of money. If I'm just doing it for the pure entertainment and the thrill of it, then no, it's not an issue to do it. Because yeah, I'm gonna do what I love and there's no problem with that if money was no problem. But we're talking about business women making a business decision about something they love doing. What's the problem in that?
Because we love doing this.
Okay.
But I still want to get paid.
I'm trying to get paid.
Okay.
I'm trying to get paid. But if money was no object, I'd do it for free. I'd still be doing it if money was no object.
All right. Last final questions. Anybody else? All right.
Right
go
up
ahead.
here.
Right here.
Hey, so I actually have a question for both of our guests. My question is, what would you consider to be your biggest accomplishment so far?
Question.
My biggest accomplishment would probably have been that I was able to open up a studio of my own. The first one that I had lasted for 7 years. I have taught over 100 women, a few celebrity women. I won't put them out there like that because they wanted to be private. A couple of news anchor women, actually. Yes. A couple of white women, actually. Beautiful white women. You might see her on 45. Just to let her know. She's a little cute little white lady. A little short one, just to let you know. I think that's probably one of my most proudest achievements that I was able to do. And the fact that I'm going to do another one, not just because I want it, but because some of my former students want it again.
There's a need for it.
And it's a need for it because these women want to play, is what I call it. And they deserve it. Because no one wants to be bored. And no one wants to work out on a treadmill.
And no one wants to be placed in a box.
Or in a box.
Women being placed
They want
in a
the
box
option
by
of how they want to work out and
societal
lose weight and how to cater their body and to sculpt themselves.
And add to that, like when I was taking your classes, like it was the social hour.
Yes.
This was how you met other women.
Right.
This was
Yes.
how you empowered each other, and it was the encouragement, and it was all of that. And it really became its own thing. It wasn't just about, oh, you're going to learn some pole stuff and a little bit of fun play and a little bit of floor play. Like, it was all of that, but it was overall this opportunity to meet other women with normal bodies, with normal lives, and everybody just really improved. And overall, like, there was weight loss and there was body changes, there was body sculpting, and everyone really felt connected to each other. That was so much encouragement, and it offered more than just a fitness aspect.
So I did good.
You did good. So
I
what
did
about
damn
you? What is your thing that you're most your accomplishment?
Writing this book, it empowered me because I'm talking about some things that I really did not, for a long time, I did not want to talk about. I had family members I knew would never speak to me again because I'm talking about maybe their dad, their brother who molested me. I'm talking about, domestic violence. My ex, I'm pretty sure he's like triple pissed right now that I mentioned him in this book. A lot of people, I changed their names in the book. And they're reading it, trying to figure out, is she talking about me? Yes, I'm talking about you. But it empowered me because for a long time I was holding all this pain in.
Right.
And for me to finally get it out and I can talk about it without crying, without getting upset. I still have a daughter who I'm talking about her father in this book. And, she hasn't read this book. But one day she will read it and then she'll be able to understand, what I went through with her father. So this helped me a lot. this is my biggest accomplishment now. I have multiple businesses, and you know, I'm married and a lot of other things, but this right here, this saved me. It helped me. I was suicidal at several points in my life. Even before this book came out, writing this book again brought back a lot of anxiety because I had to relive all this stuff again. So for me to be able to package it up, it's so funny because when I got the book in my hand, I freaked out.
Right.
I'm like boohoo crying. I can't let this book out. Like,
Right.
I'm thinking people are gonna judge me
Right.
and laugh at me, talk about me, like you're a stupid ass bitch.
Right.
Why would you do all of this stuff?
Right.
But I'm thankful for where I am now because I could still be in that book,
Right.
still dreaming
Right.
about sitting here with you, beautiful, empowering women who, you know, are not judging me
Right.
and are happy that I released this out and
Right.
doing better things now.
Because there's power in truth.
Oh God, yes.
It is, and we appreciate both of you ladies
Thank you
for
so
taking
much.
the time to sit here with us and
Thank you.
actually speak your truth.
Yeah.
You know, that's a hard thing for a lot of us
Yes.
to do, but you guys were on the hot seat and you spoke your truth and you did it so eloquently, and we thank you guys for joining
you
us
so
and being
much.
a part of
Thank
this.
you.
Right? Yeah, so Mimi, Hannah, me and you still have some things to discuss. Yeah, about
always good stuff.
your career and the adult entertainment.
It was very
industry.
entertaining. It was very entertaining.
And TK, we plan on joining you in your studio for a live show
And I
for
cannot
pole
wait.
dancing. And actually, Miko, we're going to have you on a future slumber party show.
Absolutely welcome
Because
back.
she's going to give us some dick sucking lessons.
Yes.
Ooh, she's going to give us all dick sucking lessons. So we're going to be in our PJs on the couch, and we're all going to have a lesson on dick sucking. We're going to join you in your studio for a lesson on pole dancing. So
And I'd love to come.
that's
too.
You are
fun.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you both for
sucking tips too.
yes, thank you both for joining
Classic,
us.
it doesn't matter.
Thank you so much for sharing your stories. We really appreciate you coming on here
Thank you for
and
having
telling us
us.
all this truth, and it's
Right.
wonderful to have you a part of it.
And thank you to our lovely studio audience for all of your questions and hanging in there with us. So it's been a blast, and we thank you all for joining in. Again, you can reach us on YouTube at Cocktails After Dark. Instagram is also Cocktails After
Yes,
Dark.
hit our Instagram up. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe and hit that little bell for the notifications. We do like to do our little slumber parties as our in-between episodes and our fillers, so you can always join us, and those are interactive. You can follow us on our Facebook pages. We'll do live feeds. You guys can give us questions, and we'll answer them right there in real time. So please do join us.
So you know what that means? Our glasses are empty, so that means it's the end of the show.
Yeah.
So until next time, cheers.
Cheers.